Hey guys, don't really know what I want to talk about right now, but I do want to make a couple of videos, just, for the state of the channel, and why not? One of the things I was talking about, I guess, with someone today about relationships was compromise. And a lot of times people say you have to compromise to be in a relationship. Now, depending on the dynamic of the relationship, sometimes I agree and sometimes I don't, because when you compromise, you lose yourself. You don't want to lose yourself in a relationship. You want to respect the fact that your partner is different and that you don't agree. That's how I feel. Like you and I, we don't agree. So there's an impasse and we both agree that we're different. You're going to do things your way. I'm going to do things my way, but we're going to respect each other throughout this. Sometimes, depending on what the topic is, and how it affects the relationship and the family, because with family, it's a little bit different. When you have children, there may be some compromise, but it's for the betterment of the family unit. But sometimes if you find yourself compromising too much, you're in the wrong relationship. Because if you're constantly changing who you are to please another human being, at the end of the day, it's not going to work out because you're not going to be the person they fell in love with. You changed everything you were to make them happy. And at the end of the day, more times than not, they end up leaving you for someone else that was who you were in the beginning anyway, because you changed who you were so much and you did it out of love to accommodate them. So I always tell people, just be you. Either they stick around or they don't. Either way, you dodged a bullet. You know what I mean? Like, just be yourself. Then there's some people that are just abrasive, harsh, and just nasty. They need to change and compromise a little bit because their demeanor is just really rough overall. But in reality, they are who they are. We have to figure out why they are that way. It's usually some type of trauma that you need to heal in order for them to soften up and be. They're rough and nasty for a reason. So healing that person is a better option. And then through that healing, they'll be more loving and kind and nurturing, and all those things come with time. But if somebody's like that, it's usually because they were taught it or they were hurt and they're defending themselves. So that's a whole nother video. I always do that. I have to stop that. But compromise. That's my personal opinion. You don't have to listen to me. There's a lot of people that will teach you have to compromise. Compromise is the key to a relationship. Yeah, sometimes, but not the whole time. It is important to stay true to yourself, your morals, your visions, your goals, your upbringing, if that's the case. But remember, we do constantly change our belief system based on new information and new experiences. So the thing about relationship coaching and like helping people is that you have to hear the whole story. And then you have to hear both sides of the story before you can actually give advice, because the advice you give is tailored to that situation and that relationship. There's no one answer for everyone. There is none. It just depends. How is it in the beginning? Okay, how is it in the middle? How is it now? Where do you want it to be? And then you cater a solution for that situation. But I just wanted to say that because I find a lot of people who change who they are, at the end of the day, they end up being unhappy because they're not themselves anymore. They've totally just changed everything about themselves to make another person happy, and then they're unhappy, and then sometimes they break up and they end the relationship, but it's their fault because they changed, But then they're like, I can't be myself in this relationship. Meanwhile, the other partner is like, I never asked you to change. That's another dynamic. So don't lose yourself, because it's never a good thing unless you were a horrible person and this other person makes you better and you're changing and becoming a better person. If that's how you feel and that's how other people around you feel, like it's a good influence and you're changing for the better, that's a whole nother situation. But you see how this can spin into 1,000 different scenarios. But that's just my personal advice. If you find that you're changing yourself so much, not that you're becoming a better person, but so much to please and accommodate your partner, you have to just be careful, because you're riding a fine line of losing yourself in this relationship. And sometimes your partner ends up falling out of love with you because you're not the person they fell in love with in the first place. Does that make sense? All right. That's it. Love you guys. Bye.